I think we did it. We had a long run today, and well, not we did it. Actually, you did it. Um, and we just, so people are starting coming in. I'm trying not to pay attention to it, which is quite hard. First of all, I would like, as a form of wrap up, would like the workshop teachers to if they could share microphones. Andrea. Okay. I would like the three work we had quite an experiment. We had 3 workshops on a Friday evening around dinner time, and actually there were a lot of people attending them. And I would like to ask, maybe to start with Christopher, how did it go, and could you share something with us?
I think it went great. Here, I can share my screen. Just a second. And you can see some of the great, horrible work that people made.
Maybe just summarize what the workshop was about.
Yeah, so this was Take Something in the Course. And the idea was that we were just producing intentionally bad art, that it wasn't going to be good, it wasn't going to be highbrow, and therefore it alleviated the pressure of performing and high aesthetics and all of that. So this one actually took a screenshot of me during the presentation and decorated her background with stuff from her recycle and trash bins. Katya was unhappy with a lot of Russian tourist tchotchkes, and so made her own tasteless version. This one I particularly appreciated because the camera, it was very dark and it was hard to kind of capture, but I think it worked well as an image on its own. This is Yua's sculpture from detritus that she found around. This is Emily's version of bad 80s department store art. I appreciated this one with the dinosaur and the flip-flops and the party hat. This is also a beauty. Went from working on an analog drawing to changing it to digital. This is Mark's version of 12-year-old art. And this one, and then I got a couple sent in later from some younger participants. This one they made on their fridge during the session. Yeah, so it was great. It was super, super fun.
Oh, thank you very much. This was Christopher Lin. Thank you very much for your workshop. And then for us, the most wickedest was the one with food from Anastasia. Anastasia, could you maybe tell us something how it went or show us something?
Oh, I can't actually show anything, but I can tell you how it went. So we lost a lot of people. So it was really tiny. And then there were some people that were on the train, so they couldn't really cook anything, which was interesting because it's like kind of like, yeah, it was a different approach. But we had a great time, like sharing stories about food. So there were 2 girls from The Hague sharing their ingredients from the communal garden and just experimenting. And then there were people from Zurich joining in, people from the US. So it was again truly international. But it was quite wicked because it was not going the way it was planned. So that was also a new thing for me. And so it was like more of a conceptual cooking. For example, a person talking about not cooking because the turkey is still frozen. However, Thanksgiving was yesterday, which was an interesting experience.
Yes. So the original assignment was cook a dish from your cultural heritage and share it with at least one stranger.
Yeah.
I guess that's very difficult with the frozen turkey.
Yes.
It was really brave of you to do it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Then, last but not least, we had a duo also doing a workshop. That were Michiel Koelink and Arida Bandringa. I also would like to invite them to share something with us. Where are you?
Yeah, we're here.
We're here.
Yeah, that was an experiment in multitasking and multi-platform fun. So our, let me share my screen.
Can you tell us the assignment again, Michiel?
Yeah, the assignment was
make
an artwork in dialogue with an artificial intelligence system, and was based a little bit on a Chinese whisper idea and artificial intelligence, and inspired by the work Google Eyes by Marijn Bolink, in which he made a plaster sculpture of a tire, which he photographed and uploaded to Google image search. And by uploading it, he found an image of a human jawbone. He made that in ceramics and made a picture of that. And so uploaded it to Google image search. And so he carried on and made a dialogue with the Google image search. So what we did during the workshop was have all the participants, we talked about artificial intelligence and the influence on the society right now. But in the end, we showed them this image and asked them to draw the image, make a picture of it, upload it to some Google Lens, Pinterest, or somewhere else, look for similar images and draw one that they find and repeat this, this process. With them upload that to Padlet. So this is kind of a timeline of all the participants. They all draw stuff. And the fun thing of this assignment is that you realize how you're slowly put into different directions by the way you draw, by the way the AI system interprets your work, and in a little time you end up in all kinds of different places. I thought it was a blast, and here somebody went to a unicorn and a rainbow. Yeah, beautiful results. Very nice to see that everybody, or most people, got the hang of it and solved the technical issues that of course arose. And yeah, really happy with the result. It was really fun.
Arida, did they do better than your students at this assignment?
My students are better with technology.
Yeah.
So now it's very beautiful to see all kinds of. We got a tip at the beginning not to use line drawings. And you see when you use line drawings that you is less. So that's a tip if you want to do it again. Use big, bold colored things on in your drawings.
Yeah, then it works better to translate it. Yes. Okay, thank you very much. Well, it was for us. We have watched you in wonderment, doodling away and on a Friday evening, which was very interesting to see.
And a lot of additions added after the workshop also, which was nice to see.
Yeah, but there were also other presentations that featured really small exercises, making a 1-minute sculpture or something like that, or doing something with your angle control, which was also very interesting. And we saw that everybody was really participatory in these. I think we can wrap it up. I just wanted to ask to the other presenters who did a very, very good job and had a very hard job today, Olivia Goody, Jorge Lucero, Oscar Maleveld, and Clark Goldsberry. First, thank you very much. Is there something that you might want to add that struck you during the presentation that you hosted, or that you just want to share with us? Take the stage.
I'll point out something that is obvious and that I think I have to point out every single time I meet with people like this over Zoom. This is a possibility that wouldn't have emerged if it wasn't for the fact that we're all quarantining in the way that we are. I love it. I feel like I've been able to see so many things that I wouldn't have had the privilege to see, and meet so many people that I probably wouldn't have been able to meet. And I'm very, very grateful for that. So thank you for giving us the opportunity to have been able to be a part of it.
Thank you. That are very nice words. I don't know if everybody realized that sometimes someone was discussing something with from Switzerland going to Utah, going to Serbia, etc., which is very, very interesting.
Well, can I, Emil, one more thing? I had a very interesting experience one time when I was on a Zoom like this, and somebody was in England and somebody was in New Zealand. And it was right at that moment when the sun was rising in England and it was setting in New Zealand, and the light was actually changing in their rooms. And it was an incredible cosmic experience. And, and again, facilitated through this weird thing that we're on right now.
Yeah, that's true. Olivia Clark, Oscar, anything that you want to share with us?
Well, maybe I can just have some short, some subjects there come along. Jacques Blommestein, he's talking about the student and students to take failure seriously and how to make an art curriculum without text. It's also interesting. Mark Graham about Fail Forward and Himalayan art, and the Find Jesus project, a collection of panels with material, mud, rain, can be very interesting as well. Gila Kolb about the manifesto and how you write art students to make a manifesto about art education. And myself, I had a small presentation about the art of protest science. That was my session.
Thank you. This was really like a wrap up.
I'll chime in just quickly. I just want to say thanks. I feel really connected, and I feel really honored to be part of such a global community of deep thinkers and makers. Yeah, it's very humbling to see all the work that you're doing and to hear your thoughts and learn from you. I've just been writing furiously this whole past 4 hours, and I've learned a lot. So I just want to say thank you.
Well, thank you, Clark. It was nice meeting you, and you did a great job. Well, Olivia, now you really have to say something.
Well, you might guess what I'm going to talk about. One of the things that came up in our workshop, and first of all, I want to just say thank you to Ann Fulson with sort of amazing work with her School of the Poetic City. It always makes me feel so poetic just to think about the name of that work. And Ava really kind of setting up this sort of challenging idea about what it would mean to make street interventions in a small space to sort of encourage people to think differently. And then Ronald, well, it was so amazing to see him have the students make sculptures and set them on fire. And of course, there's all these questions we can discuss about that, but it was really exciting and beautiful. So that was wonderful, one of his projects. The thing I would like to actually mention is that in several workshops, in our workshop and several workshops, the question of assessment came up, like how would you assess this work? And a lot of people talked about the fact that they have problems with assessment, that they've always had problems with assessment, even in teaching in public schools. How do you do that? And so I would recommend that maybe the next step is to Wicked Arts assignments and Wicked assessments, that we really need to think about how do we create a kind of if we're educators who are reaching out to each other across the globe about a kind of arts education which seems more relevant to the world and more in sync with contemporary art, how do we also network with each other to manifest a new kinds of arts assessment so that we have strength in our numbers of resisting arts assessment that is reductive and that pushes back against a complex curriculum. So,
yeah, we have to talk about that more, Olivia. And actually, if you want to have a really evil, want to see a really evil presentation about rubrics, then certainly go to the website of Olivia Goody, because she has a great presentation about that subject. If it's on there, yeah.
Well, it's not a video, but the
no, PowerPoint, isn't it?
The text. Well, yeah, it's the text with images. So it does, yeah. It's sort of based on the general idea of students saying, yo, teacher, don't, wait, what was I gonna say?
Yo, teacher, don't set me on fire.
Yo, teacher, don't rubricate me.
Ah, okay, that's it, yeah. Okay. Well, we're certainly not gonna rubricate you all. I think we're pretty much done. A few last statements. First of all, we really have to thank that every moment that it was, of course, quite an operation to do this, and we made a lot of mistakes, but I think we made it pretty well, thanks to one person. Every time that when things went wrong, you hear this very calm voice of Marilix Beerdink. She was our technical, yes. You get an applause, Marilix. So thank you very much. Also, of course, thanks again. Oh. Again, all the hosts and all the workshop leaders. What we two last remarks. What we tried to do with this book, and what we didn't think that much about in advance, was that we wanted to give you, of course, a voice and to include everyone in the world with their assignments. But what we didn't think about is that actually that could become a network. And I think that today, this morning, wherever you are, I think that we experience with each other the network, and also a lot of friends we know from art education, from Denmark, from all different places, hooked up with this presentation. And that, I think, is really impressed us a lot, and is also something that we need to think about more. And I hope that we together have a concept here that we could do something with, and that we use each other's networks to build on that, and maybe meet again and see what we can do with it. So that is from the bottom of our hearts. And we are also we're also moving on a little bit. We are thinking about this conference. We will try to get the videos online together with the PowerPoints of the presenters. The presenters will get a very nice email about that if they want to share their PowerPoints on a public site. You have to be a little bit patient, because we have to sort out 5.5 hours of video, but we're going to try to do something with that. And we are thinking about updating the website to make it more into an interactive website, because we use the website www.wickedartsassignments.com mostly to gather all these assignments, but we think that we could also use it to share results of the assignments, like Clark has already does that with his assignment. And maybe it could be interesting to also upload results. We have to find something, if we can pay for that, because it's quite complicated to do it, but we're going to try it. So keep an eye on www.wickedartsassignments. And I think that we need to wave at you, all three of us, because we did it. This is our team, and we did it with you, and we had a great time. Thank you all very much.